It all began as an ordinary day in September, an ordinary day in Raccoon City, a city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction.
It's time to run, it's time to flee, it's time to get away, or else your pretty ass is gonna fucking die today. Not by a zombie or a liquor or any of those dams. You'll meet a special fate and die by Nemesis' hand. Attempt to sit it down and think you're in a quiet place, then he bursts through the walls, assures you that it ain't the case. You think that you are safe, but no, there's no escape. Believe in the lie, you'll surely die and pay the price for your mistake. Umbrella, they must pay the price. Umbrella accepted so much life, so many they have sacrificed, till it's all out to make it right. You got a missile coming to blow you off the fucking map. You got a tyrant shooting constantly up on your back. You're a Nikolai, always setting up a trap. This city is your tomb if you don't have a plan of attack. Run, there's nowhere to hide from your demise. The terror in your eyes, Nemesis will watch you die. There's nowhere to hide from your demise. Nemesis will watch you die. Stars.
It all began as an ordinary day in September, an ordinary day in Raccoon City, a city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction.
It's time to run, it's time to flee, it's time to get away, or else your pretty ass is gonna fucking die today. Not by a zombie or a liquor or any of those dams. You'll meet a special fate and die by Nemesis' hand. Attempt to sit it down and think you're in a quiet place, then he bursts through the walls, assures you that it ain't the case. You think that you are safe, but no, there's no escape. Believe in the lie, you'll surely die and pay the price for your mistake. Umbrella, they must pay the price. Umbrella accepted so much life, so many they have sacrificed, till it's all out to make it right. You got a missile coming to blow you off the fucking map. You got a tyrant shooting constantly up on your back. You're a Nikolai, always setting up a trap. This city is your tomb if you don't have a plan of attack. Run, there's nowhere to hide from your demise. The terror in your eyes, Nemesis will watch you die. There's nowhere to hide from your demise. Nemesis will watch you die. Stars.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ghost Pando here on codename Nemesis. We got lots to break down, and including the main story about a YouTube channeler calling himself a so-called critic, a so-called Resident Evil fan, and it believes that this guy is nothing but a scam. And I'm saying it straight to this. This guy complains, cries about everybody else. Just because Fortnite players play the game, I agree with some things that he said, but I believe that the rest of the stuff is straight bullshit. So we're going to talk about this main story before we get into the other stories that is going to bring this whole charade together. So, welcome to Codename Nemesis. podcast show. Like I said, repeating, I am Ghost Panda. The topic of today is Michael Does Life. Michael Does Life. A YouTuber, a so-called veteran Resident Evil gamer, a so-called gaming critic. And I sit here and I say this time and time. I visit this guy's channel, and there's some things that I agree with him, but I do believe that the rest of the shit that he says is complete bullshit. I believe that he's scamming his own channel, scamming his own community, just to prove that he is a critic, to prove that he is a Resident Evil fan. Just because you got one item of this franchise doesn't mean you're a veteran Resident Evil gamer. I believe if you are a Resident Evil gamer and veteran, appreciate what Capcom has put out there for us. Just recently, we just got the announcement for Resident Evil 3 Remake. From the numbers of days, weeks, this guy has been crying, complaining, and then bashing people who just plays Fortnite because they play Resident Evil. They say now they got the feel to become a Resident Evil fan. Who are you to criticize these people? Who are you to say they don't have that privilege? When I looked at every video, this guy does not have a privilege. He does not have the right to call himself a veteran Resident Evil gamer. He does not have the right to criticize what is going on. This guy is pushing but nothing but scamming people to let them know that his shit is bullshit. And I say this from the jump, and I say this clear as out, because here on Codename Nemesis, we say it uncut, uncensored, and real as possible. We're not going to give you bullshit over something. So this guy is putting out content, but he's putting out nothing but bullshit, complaining, bashing the company because they said it's too soon for Resident Evil 3. Do I agree with that part? Maybe. The reason why you cannot push the company, tell the company to push it back, because you know why? You don't have the right. You're not the creators. Maybe they had this game in progress when Resident Evil 2 Remake was going into development. Maybe they had this already planning, so they made us think, oh, this is what's going to happen. So this guy, I said out here, you're not a veteran Resident Evil gamer just because you have items. You do not have the privilege to call yourself a veteran evil gamer, because you haven't took the possibilities to reach out there and make the ultimate challenge, the ultimate sacrifice. You do not have the right to call yourself a critic, because you know why? The critic that you get is not as respectful as it goes. And I'm saying like this, and I don't care if any of his fans who hears this episode get mad. I don't care if he gets mad, because he's not going to realize that when it comes and hits him in the ass, that he is not a critic and he's not a veteran Resident Evil gamer. Because he goes on bashing real Resident Evil gamers, real Resident Evil fans, and it's bullshit. Before we do this, we're going to come back with another segment for you, and we're going to leave this topic right here. If you guys visit Michael Does Life, be prepared. That is nothing but bullshit. This guy's always complaining, always bitching, always acting like this. And we just need to give this guy a bottle, diapers, and a bib, and finally tell him to shut the fuck up. And I'll see you guys back for the next segment.
Lucas.